What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 59, and we're starting today's episode off with a game against Spurs here in the Premier League at Vicarage Road, coming into our third game of the season on the back of two wins against City and Leicester.
Well, he really could be the star of the show today. Two in his previous match, a clear danger man for the opposition.
And pre-game, Martin Tyler and Alan Smith decided to discuss Mario Balotelli's red-hot start to the season. 4 goals in 4 games, 2 in the last game against Leicester City, the game winner against Manchester City on the opening day of the Premier League, and of course he also scored against his Spurs side in the Community Shield as well. So Balotelli, the danger man for Spurs, they didn't seem fazed by that threat of Balotelli up top at all, because coming into this game, they really did come at us with everything they had in the opening half an hour. The first chance fell there, our former midfielder Barami shot goes over the bar and behind for a goal kick, and then 5 minutes later, Alex Pritchard hits the post before Joe Davis gets the ball away. So Spurs making a really good start to this game. They had another great chance in the 22nd minute. Barami through to Pritchard, great through ball towards Andros Townsend, and if it wasn't for a great save by Jack Butland, Spurs would have been in front. But in the opening 25-30 minutes, it was literally all Spurs. It was one of those games where I couldn't get the ball off them. They passed the ball around so nicely in this year's FIFA. They hit the post again here for Andros Townsend in the 26th minute, and every single time they came forward, they looked like they would score. Once again, a great build-up here sees Kane get on the ball and play it inside towards Chadley, who goes for goal. The shot's on target, but again, we were relying on Jack Butland making a great save and turning it behind for a corner. So all the chances falling to Spurs in the first half. We'd barely got out of our own half in this first half. It was absolutely shambles from us, really. And as you can see, they were dominating possession, 65 to 35% possession as things stood. But in the 41st minute, after the save by Butland, we get ourselves forward for one of our first chances of the game. Marco Ryan Tyler releases Mario Balotelli. He's got 4 goals in 4 games, and he has a chance to make it 5 goals in 5 games even, as he's tripped up by Federico Fazio. The centre-back brings him down, and as you can see, it is a definite penalty. So after all of the chances that Spurs had in the first half, every single time they came forward, they looked like scoring. We couldn't defend in this game. We couldn't get the ball off them. We have one chance and a chance to make it 1 goal before the break. Mario Balotelli scored a penalty against Leicester. He scored 2 goals in that game. Can he score from the spot here against Michel Vorm? Yes, he can. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way and makes it Watford 1, Spurs 0. And I am just completely loving this guy already. I said it was a gamble, I said it was a risk, but I think it's going to be paying off massively, because it's another goal for Balotelli. Yes, another penalty for him, but I don't care. Balotelli's so reliable from the spot, and it's already 4 goals in 3.5 Premier League games. Absolutely incredible from Mario Balotelli. No, 2.5 Premier League games, I should say, from Mario Balotelli. So what a start to his Watford career. And at half-time, we had a very undeserved lead. But 4 minutes after the restart, we had our first chance, if you will, of the second half. Marco Ryan Tyler goes for a goal from a mile out, but gets the shot horribly wrong, and it trickles wide at the post. Don't know whether you guys are the same as me, but this year, I cannot score long-range shots for Toffee at all. It's just terrible. Like, if it's 25 yards out or more, just forget about shooting. I just cannot hit the target most of the time. But either way, it was still Watford 1, Spurs 0. Harry Kane's header then went wide of the post there, but to be honest, in the second half, Spurs have basically ran out of steam. They had so many chances in the first half. It was almost like they tired themselves out. They couldn't carve out any more opportunities, and in the 70th minute here with 20 minutes to go, after nice passing, Mario Balotelli releases Marco Ryan Tyler down the left-hand side, who skips around Kevin Wimmer with a step over, then beats Federico Fazio, and it's a great finish by Ryan Tyler as well to make it Watford 2, Spurs 0. So we beat them last season on the Premier League final day by 2 goals to 0. We could have the same result here. Watford 2, Spurs 0, and Ryan Tyler with a fantastic goal gets his first of the season, and Marco the Magician surely secures the 3 points here at Vicarage Road. So what a start to the season it has been for us. Balotelli's firing on all cylinders. We've already picked up the Community Shield. We're going to win our first 3 games in the Premier League as well. It's been a fantastic start to our season here with Watford. That's a great finish by Ryan Tyler. Vaughan may have done a little bit better on another day, but we don't care. Marco the Magician makes it 2-0, but this really was a game where we just had to take our chances, because Spurs had so many of them. I thought for sure they would score at some stage, but they just couldn't beat Jack Butland. They didn't have an answer for Butland's fantastic form, and we were 2 goals up in this game. In the 82nd minute, they had a chance to get themselves back in the game, though, as Kevin Wimmer flicks on this ball towards Dembele, but once again, Butland is there, turning the shot behind for a corner and keeping us up by 2 goals to 0. And from the corner, it's crossed into the centre by Andros Townsend, who whips it in towards his teammate Dele Alli. It's cleared away by Ryan Tyler, only as far as our former player Barami, through towards Andros Townsend, down the left-hand side, chips it to the far post. Butland punches the ball away, only as far as Chadley, and again, it is Jack Butland showing me and showing you exactly why he is so important to this Watford team. I know some of you think I should be selling Butland with the bids we're getting for him right now, but this is exactly why I want to keep him in this Watford team. Yes, he makes mistakes, but all goalkeepers make mistakes. But Jack Butland pulls off saves like that almost every other game. He's a superb goalkeeper, and he keeps his clean sheet as things stand at 2-0. So still Watford 2, Spurs 0. The final chance of the game fell here in stoppage time. Balotelli down the left-hand side, takes it around Fazio, crosses the ball to the far post, and this would have been the icing on the cherry on the cake, as I would say. Loftus-Cheek's bicycle kick hitting the post, and Spurs getting the ball clear. That would have been so nice had Loftus-Cheek wrapped up the 3 points of the bicycle kick there, but sadly, he could only hit the woodwork. Regardless, there was some very sad news in stoppage time for us, because Bertrand Traore gets an injury off the ball. He pulls up whilst chasing the ball, and has torn his hamstring, and is going to be out for 2 months. So that is a massive, massive shame. This game was fantastic for us. A clean sheet for Butland, a man of the match performance by him. Balotelli scoring once again. Ryan Talley getting his first of the season. Loftus-Cheek hitting the post as well. That would have been fantastic. But all round, we had a great game. Spurs will wonder how they didn't get anything from that game. I can hold my hands up in that game and admit that we should have at least got a draw, at the very most, I should say. And Spurs should have at least got a draw and really got the win. They played fantastically well. We got lucky in that game. But Mario Balotelli and Marco Ryan Talley do make sure we do get a 2-0 win. But again, the sad news was that Traore is going to be out for 2 months with that torn hamstring. But once again, we see the frustration after the game regarding Charlie Austin. It's the 3rd time he has said this. He doesn't want to relocate and he is settled here at Watford. So the frustration is evident right now. As you can see, I reject all Officer Butland. That's it. He's staying now. After that man of the match performance, he's staying here at Vicarage Road. But for Charlie Austin, man, I just don't know what to do. I mean, seriously, it's the 3rd time he's turned down the chance to relocate. You'd think he'd want a fresh start. You know, 79 overall. He's not getting in the team very often. Obviously, we don't really have much confidence in him. The Russia 2018 World Cup's around the corner, so maybe you want to get some game time to play for England in that competition and try and earn a call up to that squad. But I just don't know why he doesn't want to relocate. To be honest, it's just really, really frustrating for me. I mean, maybe his missus has found a book club she really likes here or something. I don't know. But it's so annoying because I want to sell the guy. It's the 3rd time he said the exact same thing. I'm starting to think now that maybe he's just one of those players who you'll just never be able to sell unless you trade him to another club. So maybe we'll have to do that, or possibly with Traore's injury, give him a run in the first team, just cross our fingers and hope that he will finally start to bang in the goals. Because last season, I mean, he said in that news article there, he's got a lot to prove, and I was like, yeah, man, that's definitely true. Last season, you only scored 5 goals, mate. Come on, seriously. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Charlie Austin, though. Maybe he'll stay, maybe he'll go. We'll have to wait and see. But as things stand, the Charlie Austin transfer saga continues. So we take on Fleetwood Town for the 2nd and final game of today's episode here in the Capital One Cup 2nd round. We got to a fantastic start in this game as well, just 6 minutes in. Matej Vidra opening the scoring and making it Fleetwood 0 and Watford 1. Of course, we won this competition in the first season. Last year, we got knocked out in an early round by Leeds United at home on penalties at Vicarage Road. So coming into this game, we were hoping to make amends for our poor performance in the competition last season and get ourselves the win and get through to the next round as easily as possible. But as you saw with the team I picked, though, there were going to be 11 changes made to the side. The fact of the matter is, even though we want to do well in this competition, even though we do want to get ourselves through and not go out in an early round, it's still not something we're going to be too fussed about. But in the 18th minute, there is one player that certainly is fussed about this competition because he knows it may be the best chance of him getting more game time and proving to us that he deserves more starts. Well, it was his first start in his Watford career for Lloyd Isgrove in this game, and what a fantastic goal it was too. The former Southampton right midfielder cuts in from the right hand side, lovely piece of skill, then a ball roll, and what a great finish with a weaker left foot as well, into the top corner. Fantastic goal. We've already seen 2 contenders for goal of the season already this season. First Loftus-Cheek against City, now Lloyd Isgrove, his first goal for Watford against Fleetwood Town. And yes, I know we're taking on a League One side. The standard of defending isn't going to be fantastic, but either way, that first little dummy to take it round his man was just fantastic, and a great finish too. So Fleetwood 0, Watford 2 as a score at half time. We were playing much better than the League One side, but on the stroke of the hour mark here, the lower league side would get themselves back in the game through Matt at the far post, and what a cross it was too from the left hand side. Really good ball to the far post, and the number 10 Jamil Matt volleys the ball past Crescito and makes it Fleetwood 1, Watford 2. Galloway should have stuck tighter to him, but he didn't, and as you can see, Matt volleys in the cross and does make it Fleetwood 1, Watford 2. So the League One side here showing us that even though we were leading by 2-0 going into the break, they weren't going to sit down and just accept defeat in the second half. They were going to try and get themselves back in the game, and fair play to them for doing so, as they made it Fleetwood 1 and Watford 2. And 10 minutes later, he had a great chance to equalise as well after a nice passing. McManus gets on the ball for Fleetwood, plays it inside towards his teammate here, and Brendan Galloway, he's had an absolutely diabolical start to the season. Mistake against Barcelona in the Copa Europe, mistake mistake there in the first goal for Fleetwood, not sticking tight enough to his man, and then for this one here, miscontrols and then takes down Matt, although I will say that's a soft penalty in my opinion. Don't think he meant to take him down. Matt seemed to jump into him really, and in my opinion that was a bad decision by the referee, but a penalty to Fleetwood Town, and wouldn't you just know it, ball stands up to take it, sends Crescito the wrong way, and the League One side come from 2 goals down in 12 in-game minutes to make it Fleetwood 2, Watford 2. So embarrassing really from me. I was leading this game comfortably. We were 2 goals up, poor defending on both goals, allowed Fleetwood back in the game. This is a League One side, no disrespect to them, but we should be winning this game pretty comfortably. We were winning this game pretty comfortably, and we've thrown it away, and Fleetwood are back on level terms. But in the 81st minute here, Obi Olari intercepts the Fleetwood defender, goes through one-on-one. Our giant Belgian striker has a great chance to make it 3-2 and get his first goal of the season and retake the lead for us, but the shot hits the bar and goes behind for a goal kick. So great chance there, but Olari couldn't get the finish right and it was still 2-2. From the goal kick that we win it back, Vidra heads it onto Olari, who takes around 2 Fleetwood defenders. Great movement from Olari, picks out Matej Vidra, and once again we would hit the woodwork. First the bar, then the post, then Cook couldn't turn in the rebound, and then Fleetwood get the ball away. So still 2-2 as we went in search of a winning goal, but in stoppage time, well, as the corner comes in here, you just had to expect it to happen, really. They come from 2 goals down. The lower league side just didn't give up, and fair play to them, because in stoppage time, they scored a winning goal, and they are going through to the next round of the Capital One Cup. It's going to be humiliation for us. It's going to be not exactly our worst defeat in terms of the scoreline and the goals we let in compared to the goals we scored, but for us, it's the most embarrassing defeat of the series so far. We lose to the League One side. What on earth Crescito was doing there, I do not know. I didn't call him to come out, and he gets nowhere near the ball anyway. Gets caught in no man's land, and it's headed in at the far post by the number 9 into the open goal to make it Fleetwood 3, Watford 2. So fair play to the lower league side. They were 2 goals down at half-time, looking dead and buried, but they come back, they make it 3-2. I was frustrated about the penalty. I didn't think it was one, and of course us hitting the bar and then the post in quick succession as well was really annoying. But at the end of the day, I didn't take the chances. Fleetwood did, and of course my defending was quite poor as well. So Fleetwood Town knock us out of the Capital One Cup. It's an embarrassing defeat, but will it prove to be a blessing in disguise? Last season we had loads and loads of fitness problems. We couldn't keep up with the fixture congestion. This season we're going to go for the title. We want to defend our FA Cup, and of course we've got the Champions League to come this season too. The Capital One Cup, we don't care about it. So we may be going out. It may be an embarrassing defeat, but I'm not too beat up about it. But that does end the episode, guys. So thank you very much for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave a like. So it's much appreciated. It really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.